Kia ora anō, hello again and welcome back to the True Love feature film channel, following the journey of this New Zealand feature film. In this episode we're going to be talking about funding, money, dinero. In New Zealand, the traditional way of making a film is to apply to funding bodies like New Zealand On Air, New Zealand Film Commission, Te Māngai Pāho, things like that. You apply to them for funding, they say yes or no. If they say no, it's back to the drawing board. If they say yes, then they will have terms or conditions to get that funding. So if you were to get funding to make a feature film in New Zealand, that normally involves a development process and development funding that could take anywhere between 1 to 7 years. And that depends on where you're getting the funding from. In my experience, both of my short films I made independently. That means I found the money. In the case of the first one, I actually paid for the film myself. For my second short film, I actually applied for funding for that short film 3 or 4 times. In the end, the funding body that I was applying to told me that they loved the film, they loved the script, they loved the idea, but they just couldn't fund it right now for unknown reasons. But their advice to me was to go and make it anyway. So I did. My producer and I, Lindsay Goff, we went and made Ace, which is on the film festival circuit right now. We put some money into it ourselves. We crowdfunded. We asked our friends and people in the industry to sponsor the film, and we got the film made. Making both of my short films independently was a super empowering experience. I think applying for funding is a great idea, and I think if you get that funding, that's awesome. A lot of really awesome, amazing films have been made in New Zealand through that process. The independent filmmaking process is just another road to get your film made. After all, that's what's the most important thing. For True Love, we are going to independently fund this feature film. Funding a feature film is all about knowing what you're doing and how you're going to do it. That's where our experience as filmmakers comes into play, my experience as a cinematographer in terms of how a film is made, what you're going to need to spend money on, what you're going to need to spend your time on. After careful consideration, we've decided that our budget ideally would be $100,000, but I think we could get it made for between 50 and 100. So that's our goal. That budget would be considered super micro. A lot of films in New Zealand get made for that $3 million to $5 million or $1 million to $3 million mark. We're going to have to get creative to raise the money for this film. Of course, there's going to be a crowdfunding campaign, which we'll be putting out in the next month or so. There'll be opportunities to invest in the film. There'll be different levels of investment, whether you just want to contribute to the crowdfunding campaign or whether there is more of an executive producer type of investment or an associate producer type of investment that could have some sort of perks worked into it, points, etc. We'll also be running a lot of community fundraising events and missions. One of the things I really want to do is movie night. Me and the cast and crew are going to watch some movies in preparation for shooting the film, and so we're going to invite you to come to those. You'll have an opportunity to donate to the film when you come to events like that. We're going to throw some True Love market days. There'll be merch, there'll be all sorts of stuff. We're going to collaborate with some really cool creative people on that, so keep an ear out. One of the other huge things that I wanted to talk about when it comes to funding independent films is that the film industry makes the film industry go round. The generosity, support, and energy that I have had from fellow film industry professionals, fellow filmmakers when making my films has definitely been the deciding factor in making Ace. The amount of support, whether that was people coming to work or people donating their services or their equipment, was overwhelming. The people of the New Zealand film industry really do make it happen. Yeah, big ups to all you filmies out there. Big ups to all of you people who have offered to already come on board and sponsor True Love and get it made. We really appreciate it. We are so excited to make this film. This is pretty much the last video explaining things and putting things in context. After this, we are on the missions and we are making this film. So keep following, keep tuning in. Thanks for watching. Cheers.